Bro, there you are. What's up? What's up? We have Jay and Ro here.
Yeah, I'm here. In the show. The show.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, man?
Big day today. We're going to make a huge announcement, huh?
Yeah.
Another
Big.
iconic agent joining us at eXp, which is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Gosh.
Yes, it is.
Oh, look, there's
So, in a moment here, just as soon as she jumps in, there's the lady of the hour.
Here. How we doing?
How are you?
My head's so much bigger.
Very good. Excuse me, by the way. I'm not in my usual attire. I'm in Palm Springs with my family, and only have my trademark V-necks with me, and no razor.
You mean I had to put a coat on over my Lululemon?
Oh my
to be
God.
more presentable.
Well, you know what the thing is really here, guys, is that we're real people. Oh my gosh, you know.
Right.
That's the wonderful thing about live broadcasts is that, hey guys, I'm real. Look at that guy.
Right.
Which is how we all really operate. And we, you guys do not have your lip gloss on this morning. I'm a little embarrassed to see that for you. But this is.
So why don't we?
So what are we doing here today?
Why don't we get down to business here? Let the cat out of the bag. Rowena, you've been through a huge journey. You've been through a lot. We're going to want to hear your story. In fact, your timeline's probably accelerated on this tremendous change and announcement you're making more than you probably anticipated. So we'd love to understand how you went from, well, where you and I met in Gary Keller's mastermind and in a phenomenal group there at our former brokerage to this moment here where we're announcing the newest iconic agent that's joined eXp Realty, Rowena Patton. And I just couldn't be more thrilled to have you, your influence, your network, and it's really, you have a really interesting story. And you also know Jay and I from different circles, so we'd love to jump in and hear how you went from there to here.
Back a while from Rate, and gosh, what a journey that's been. So radio and TV experts. I have my own show, and Jay, of course, is doing all these amazing things. This is Jay right over here for those two agents in the country who don't know him. And wow, great guy, down to earth. I like hanging out with people who are down to earth and do amazing things and that are real people. That's why I brought that into it. You know, it's not all about the glamour shot and of course we're all handsome, beautiful people. But at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about doing things in the right way for the people we're helping, all that be the agents and our clients, our customers, our buyers and sellers, and taking real estate to a whole new level. And I've been following Jay for years, since he was about 2, watching him do that. And of course, yeah. Do you want to say something on that, Jay?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just it's ironic at this point. My 20-year-old son just got into real estate, so just in case you can't see all the gray, I've definitely feels like I've been doing real estate since I was 2.
Oh my gosh, were you a child, Daddy?
Yeah, close enough. Close enough. Oh, I think I'm still a child.
Oh my gosh, that's
a lot of people tuning in, and everyone wants to understand your story. So how did you go from, just take us to how you arrived here at eXp? Did you think it happened this fast? What the reasons were, the value proposition you saw, what it did for your team members, and what you see in terms of what's happening in this industry? And you've always been a visionary. Why don't we start there? You've been a visionary since the moment I've heard of you. When I was just an agent trying to learn the business, I was watching what you were doing. And so now here we are all together at eXp Realty, and the audience would love to hear your story around that.
Oh, well, of course, I've only been with one real estate company before. I was a management consultant before real estate. And then I landed in a place called Asheville, North Carolina, and really made a big life change and said, oh, what do I do now? And I worked with CEOs of a top Fortune 50 company actually, and they had CEOs all over the world, and I was helping them buy and sell real estate without a license. Real estate was nothing to do with my job. However, they all needed locations in the US, so I was helping them with that. And I've been in real estate since I was 20, about 6 years ago. So a really long time, even though it was never my main career before. And then I landed at Keller Williams, which has been just amazing for me over the last 11 years, being able to mastermind with Gary's top group and just have access to all the learnings and the tools and the models that they have. And the opportunity came up with eXp, and the incredible thing is being able to do everything in the cloud, so there's nothing in between in terms of all of that administrative stuff. Those of you who know me, I'm often called the Google Queen, which makes me laugh because I'm not really a techie. I just like to join dots. And, how you join dots within any organization can be tricky, especially the larger it gets. And I think eXp, with the cloud out there and having nothing in between, is going to be really amazing for that. You want the real story?
Yeah, of course. That's what we're down to.
So,
come on, Ro.
So my buddies, I like hanging out with really cool people, and all my buddies have been jumping over to eXp. So I thought, there must be something in this. And I am one of those people, to use that awful cliched phrase, flying with the eagles. I want to know what the eagles are doing. I'd also like, what has really appealed to me is that you as a group, as the Fast Forward Network within eXp, have put together a group of people who are givers. Those people that give their time and their energy, even though, I mean, you guys between you are probably doing a gazillion dollars in real estate, and I'm barely even exaggerating. Do you know what your entire group is doing within Fast Forward, within your network?
All the people connected through Jay and myself, and all of our incredible partners that are just, within connected to us here through eXp. I don't know what the number is exactly. I do know that when we launched, we had a dinner with $2.1 billion of production, just at that single dinner, and I could rattle off a number of $100 million producers, $80 million producers, $40 million producers, but we haven't added it up. Have you guys, Jay? What do you know out there?
It's hard to keep up as fast as things are moving. I know that we just crossed over 450 just in our revenue share network. So and a ton of heavy hitters. So I mean, we're definitely in the billions for sure. And we're just adding to that. But it's that collective knowledge that becomes so valuable, I think, to the agents that are also joining us. The fact that we can share what we're doing and it makes sense for us to do that in this platform is what gets me excited every day, because we can all leverage that to help other people grow their businesses.
Well, that's exactly it. It's like,
I want to hear that again. So you've invited a troublemaker, and you know that already, right? Just in case you didn't know already. So
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, poor Jay is like, really, are we doing this? So Jay, I want to stop you there because you said billions. Now, that's not important because we're going, oh my gosh, we're doing billions in real estate. That's important because of the minds that are behind those billions. Right. That is absolutely key, because those minds are the people literally that will be getting on a conference call, that will be holding seminars, that will be doing webinars, that will be sharing tactics and trips free.
Well, that's exactly it. Without even going much further, you're talking about Jay, for example, right here. I've literally paid for his materials in the past. Yeah, right. So Jay has some of my money in his pocket. You're welcome. All right.
I spent it.
Yeah. So today, I could go into our Facebook group and ask a question. What's working today? Well, how are we getting listings? How are we? How what are the objections we're finding? How are we all dealing with commission pressures? And so, eXp's done a brilliant job of helping agents become truly vested in each other's businesses, so that the culture that a lot of companies, and I mean a lot, I'm not singling one out, there's a lot of companies that talk about collaboration and this altruistic environment, but at the end of the day, there's truth to money talks, the dollar talks, and And when you have agents expanding into each other's markets, most people come to realize that yes, they want to share, but they're also really competitors. And eXp is the first company I've seen that has actually made it so that we truly are rooting for one another. You take even people in my local market that now all of a sudden I'm helping them with their listing strategies because we're connected. And eXp, regardless of who you're joining eXp through, eXp has done a tremendous job as a whole to structure that environment for all of its agents. And that's really a cool thing.
And thank you for bringing it down to the ground there, Daniel, in a good way. I mean, because it's all about, so what does that mean? Is it just going to be, any one of us or the amazing people in Fast Forward getting on a call or doing this kind of broadcast or sharing information, saying, oh my gosh, I'm doing 50 million in volume, I'm doing 150 million in volume, and here's how you, individual agent, managed to do that? No, we know what it was like in the beginning. It was only 11 years ago for me. Seems like yesterday. Amazing how time flies when you're enjoying yourself. We can literally take it down to the ground. We've all built teams. Many people in the group, which was also a big attractor for me, are coming from different brokerages. They were a mom and pop shop, like Kyle, for example. So, sorry, Carl, I didn't mean mom and pop, but I did mean mom and pop. There's a lot of mom and pops coming into, which is wonderful. There's a lot of independents coming in, so they must see the value too, and I can learn from that. I've only been in an environment where, most of those people were like me and been with one brokerage for a really long time. So this is amazing learning for me, and I'm honored to be in the Fast Forward group. Thank you, I really am.
Jay, you as an example, you're going to actually be teaching in the cloud itself soon, right? So it's outside of even network. It's truly eXp has created an environment through which they don't have to go spend a ton of money on all the educators and pay. If you have 700 local branches, you have to get 700 speakers. Instead, what are you going to be teaching soon? Tell us about that, because it's people like you, us here on this broadcast, and the incredible people we're connected to that are actually teaching in the cloud. We don't get paid to do so, but we all own the company together. So tie that into ownership, if you would.
Right. Yeah, I think it's the Charlie Munger, one of his top principles, misconceptions, if you will, and it's compensation alignment. You said it a minute ago, Daniel, and it when you have when you create a culture of giving, which I believe eXp is just a platform of givers, and the people that are attracted to eXp are the people that want to give back, that have achieved really high levels in their real estate in the industry, and they're able to give back and add more value to other people. And that's kind of what it's all about. I'm teaching in the cloud, for instance, and that's not just to our network or whatever you will. That's something that I'm happy to do, to give back to the company. That I want everyone to be producing. The more we're producing, the more the company does well, and we all benefit, and as owners and equity and stockholders in the company. So that's really what it's all about for me, is giving back. And what I've noticed in just being in the company for 5 months is that there's just a culture of people helping you. And where I think some people think of, it's a cloud-based company, I'm going to be a little disconnected maybe because they're not all in my office, I'm not connecting with them on a daily basis. But because everything is in the cloud and they're only connecting through like Facebook Workplace and things of that nature, what I found is that I'm more connected to these individuals because that's the only way we can communicate. And so it's just been, it's really unique, the culture that they've created here. And we're just proud to have you, Rowena, on board with us, because I know you're going to make it a lot more fun.
Wow.
So Rowena, there's a lot of different, there's a number of different pillars of value that eXp provides. And what I've found in just being in the company now and speaking to different agents, different teams, is there's not one thing that appeals to everybody, but there's some aspect of it that's particularly important to different groups. So you have the technology side with world-class platforms that were provided, the revenue share component where the company's actually sharing back a large portion of what we pay in with the agents that are helping grow the company, because there isn't any local brick and mortar that they have to sustain. And so they're actually able to create a big sharing environment. And then there's also agent ownership, right? Where we have the ability to have ownership of the company and are awarded stock simply for doing our job. What most resonated with you, and it doesn't have to be one thing, but walk us through what you saw in terms of value here at eXp, because you had a ton of options. You had options where you could go, that yet you ended up here.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is that previously I got all of the opportunities. So they were handed to me. I had investments in offices. I was a speaker, a coach, a consultant. All of those opportunities were given to me. At eXp, those opportunities go to the agents on my team. And, you know, the opportunities that have come about in the last week for me, and thank you, all of you who are listening, you know who you are. I've had over 40 opportunities presented to me, and I'm so blessed and so grateful for that. I'll try not to cry. But it's been really, really amazing, and I'm so thankful for that. I could sell my house and up and leave tomorrow and make a lot of money and have, you know, great opportunities out there. I owe my team my leadership right now, and this is more opportunity for them. It's opportunity through stocks, whereas only I got those before, and it's opportunity through revenue share as agents in our marketplace come up to them and go, "Hey, what's this CXP thing that you're doing?" Opportunity for the team, and you know, it's going to be really life-changing. I think that's where it's coming from for me. And there's all kinds of unintended consequences with no idea what will happen on this wild ride, and the opportunities to teach in the cloud. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. So it's really for the team. That's where I saw the real opportunity.
It's awesome. That's awesome. And how does that resonate, Jay, with a lot of what you hear people saying?
You know,
that encapsulates the culture, right, of what we have going.
Right. There's typically two types of people that generally reach out or that I'm having conversations with regularly, and it's always the $4 or $5 million producer that's just out there selling real estate every day, that's looking for that edge to get to the next level. The decision that they're usually making is based on the fact that, okay, so the coaching and expenses that I have as it relates to trying to grow my business and get the right, the right help and from the right, mentor or whatnot. That's some money that's saved. And then there's the tool, and that's where some money is saved. And so there's that conversation that I have quite often where it's just kind of do the math and okay, here's where I'm at and here's where I'll be at eXp, and I've got all this opportunity and there's this revenue share and there's these things that I may not engage in, so much in revenue share, but I'm going to be just better off just being here. Plus I've got some mentors, some of the best mentors in the industry, and agents to collaborate with. Okay. So this is kind of a no-brainer. So that's an easy one. Right. And then, to me, what's the most special is the folks that want to give back and want to create opportunity for others. And no different than we've always cared about our real estate teams. I know Rowena cares about her real estate team. I've heard her talk about them before, and always trying to do what's best for them. And, for years, I had agents on my team that they didn't have any kind of a stock option or any kind of a retirement strategy. And some of them have been with me for 15 years. And never had that opportunity. And you think, well, what if we were at eXp 15 years ago? What would that have been worth to them? And if you really sit back and think about how you would really impact people's lives, which is, I think, what Rowena is all about. I know, Daniel, it's what you're all about. It's what Curtis is all about. It's what Kyle's all about. It's about the impact that we make in people's lives. And just by being at this company and being open to this opportunity to come on board here, that's what I see that we're doing is we're going to be able to impact more people's lives in ways that we never could have otherwise. And it's thanks to this great company. But that's it's very much in alignment with what you're saying, Rowena, with all of the conversations that I'm having with people when they do the math and they look at the opportunity and the impact that they can have and really what really matters and what their purpose is all about. That's why we're all here. It's not about revenue share and for us and this, that, and the other. All of us are going to do fine. We're going to eat steak tonight, whether we're at eXp or not. So it's not about that. It's about the impact that we can make in people's lives.
Yeah. It's one of the coolest conversations I had was when I presented this whole thing to my team, And the reality is we do all have a lot of options, right? We have options to move our businesses one place or another. And there's companies out there right now that are throwing checks around. And yet, like recently, Brett Jennings, as an example, declines $800,000 in cash and stock to come here. Why? Rowena, you declined a number of different opportunities. You had the region at your former company and different folks calling in and offering you opportunity, or even outside your region for ownership in different aspects, that at the end of the day, that would have been ownership for you. And so when my team, my real estate team, the reason we've reached over $100 million in sales, and this will be the third year straight of that, or fourth year straight, excuse me, the reason for it is we understand as leaders that we actually work for the people that join us. They don't work for us, yet we work for them. And we ask them to trust us with what really really boils down to their lives, their mortgage payments, their school payments, et cetera, their healthcare payments. And so when I had the opportunity to present this to my team and share with them that instead of going after an opportunity that only would have served me, instead gives them the opportunity to own the company with me. And I know, Rowena, in the conversations we had, for your team members to be able to own something with you and build genuine retirement plans and have that be just a little more interesting than maybe dropping dead door knocking someday, because that is that's the typical retirement plan of a real estate agent, as our friend Kyle likes to say, and it's true. The way they lit up in understanding that they can have ownership alongside us and grow something that's hockey sticking up. I mean, from whatever it is right now, 9,000 agents to what I predict will be north of 200,000. And I could give you the reasons why. It has a lot to do with not having a franchise model and not having the physical limitations that slow down scale. Allows you to scale at an Uber rate versus like a taxi cab rate. And we could talk through that. But serving agents on our teams in our lives, and those not necessarily on the Rowena team, but in the Rowena network, that allow us to that put their faith in us to help to see why we're all making this move, is a really blessed opportunity. And Rowena, you've been in the business how long? Remind me now.
11 years. And I want to add something to what you just said in terms of the growth, and because I want to keep it real. I'm an eyes wide open girl. So we are going up the hockey stick. For those of you who don't know what that means, imagine the bottom of a hockey stick where the growth is just going up a very gentle curve, and then it's going up the handle of the hockey stick very fast. That's the hockey stick growth. That's what we mean by that. And that means that we're in a growing company, and it's not always going to be perfect, and the I's aren't always going to be dotted the moment the I is written, and the T's aren't going to be crossed the moment that the T is placed there. But I'm actually excited about the thought of being in a growing company and being able to shape that. I've never had that before, at least not in real estate. So to be in at the relative beginning, even though we're 9,000 agents already, and to, I know from the leadership already right at the top that they are willing to listen to what their agents are saying and change things and improve things. Like that spirit of change is there. Not we're a big corporation and things have always been done this way. So Jay knows I'm a troublemaker. So people are willing to listen, right? We all want to improve things. The book I wrote was written from all the programs in it were designed to look at problems in real estate, like the hurdles and the obstacles that we come up against. And the programs are there to overcome those obstacles. So, that's what making life easier is about. It's never simple, but it can be easier. And being part of a company that's growing and the mess that creates, whoa, bring on the chaos, right? That's fun.
Yeah.
I think many of us are of that entrepreneurial mindset who have grown and have been leaders in the industry, where we really get the opportunity. And what an honor is that, to shape the growth of this hockey sticking company.
100%. Now, in those 11 years that you've been in the business, you've been a student of not just what you were doing, but really the brokerage industry. I haven't personally. I want to know if you have. Have you seen any opportunity or any, let's not even call it an opportunity, but just have you seen a business model come into our market, into our industry, gain traction, and give us this hockey stick opportunity that, thank you for explaining for those that aren't familiar with that term, where you are going into exponential growth and exponential scale. In my understanding of what my time in the business, it's been 13 years, I've never seen it, because the last time that showed up was late 1990s, going into the early 2000s, when our former company actually completely disrupted the market, brilliantly brought a new model to the marketplace, and offered value to agents that wasn't previously there. And then they saw themselves grow to north of 165,000 agents. What I find really interesting about this model here is in a normal franchise structure where you have regions and you have territories, and it's all, based on the physicality of it. Plus, we'll put it this way: if you were in, say, rural Missouri, and you wanted to join any brand, any franchise model, well, you have to wait for the franchise to be awarded and for the region to commit to that area, and for them to pick the spot, and for them to build out the branch, and for them to staff the branch and get a critical mass of agents and finally launch the location. That could be a year or 2 year process. Yeah. When you remove all of those physical limitations, you could today at eXp be an agent without in that same spot in rural Missouri without another eXp agent within 500 miles. And you could just go ahead and join the company, which allows scale to happen at a completely different rate. And why I believe that we are headed to north of 200,000 agents as the first company to do so in North America. And your people like yourself coming and lending so much credibility to what's going on here is exactly why. Does that resonate with you as far as how you go from the old model scaling to the new model scaling?
And, I've been doing it for a while within expansion. So I already coach a number of people around the country. And I've always been agency blind. It's not about the badge to me. It's about the people and what they're doing, because at the end of the day, we're all selling real estate, right? So, to be able to reach people that aren't close to a physical bricks and mortar office is an amazing opportunity. Oh my gosh. And for those people to be able to hook into this kind of network and these kind of minds. I think people don't really understand that there are networks forming within eXp. eXpers do, of course, but everybody else, I don't think, knows about that, where groups of people like yourselves are getting together in the fast forward movement and offering the kind of networking and mentoring that you pay for in real estate coaching. Here you get it within a group, and we are A, giving people, and B, actually incentivized to make sure you do really well. So we'd better be getting some really hot content out there, right? And that's what we're about. I mean, look at what Jay's doing. Look at what Daniel's doing. I mean, you both have coaching networks. You both have, Jay, you've been doing it longer than any of us, and the opportunity to be able to give a whole bunch of that information free. How incredible is that to people in places where no one's ever going to open a bricks and mortar real estate company? Most real estate companies aren't opening bricks and mortar now because of the way the model's changing. It's our job to keep our teams and our people safe through this major real estate transition that's going on. We all know that real estate is changing. Our commissions are going to be squeezed. We need to add more value, and it's our job to coach and train agents in how to do that so that they can compete with the big lead aggregators. They can compete and take their real estate business forward. And people go, oh, it's just like travel agents. All the travel agents went away. No, they didn't. The great travel agents are still around, and they give more value. So do you want to be a great travel agent, or do you want to go the way of all the other people in the travel agent business? It's happening in every industry. And I'm just so thankful to be part of this movement and to be able to help people to grow their real estate businesses beyond their belief. And it's not just about transactions. It's about how do you use all the content that you have. What did you used to do? How can we use that in order for you to prospect in a whole different way? How can we use your hobbies? How can we use the neighborhoods that you go to every single day and leverage all of that to really put your business on fire? You're not even doing any more work. You're going there anyway. Just start sharing that content in a different way and you'll be on fire. The business will come to you. That's where we want to get agents. And I'm so honored to be part of this. And it really excites me even talking about that and how we can really start sharing and helping people build their businesses. Yes, there's a revenue share. Yes, there's stocks, but oh my gosh, let's help you in real estate as well. All the other stuff is gravy. Let's get your real estate businesses on fire.
That's awesome.
Love it.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
I think I might have to go and lie down for a bit now.
Well, we're here celebrating
what should
you.
people do if they want to reach out to you and learn more? Like, I know there's people that are watching. There are people that have been watching. Are like, oh my God, Rowena's doing this. I've got to talk to her. What
well, there are two places. There are uvpbook.com. That's where all the programs that went bestseller last year, and it's full of real estate programs. It's also got the Facebook page link on there, so you can follow me on Facebook. Reach out to me there. I respond very quickly, generally, on messages. If you want to see a little bit more about eXp as a whole, you can go to theagentpowerhouse.com. That's in its infancy, but has a bunch of information on there around all of those pieces that we've been talking about today. So theagentpowerhouse.com.
Awesome. Yep, I absolutely recommend reach out to Rowena. We're here celebrating her, and she is one of the biggest givers in this industry. I mean, you've built how many different networks just to help real estate agents get more business, irrespective of brand, Rowena. Just to take us through that, because I really want to encourage anyone that's like, most people at this point have heard of eXp or been exposed to it in some form or fashion at some time. But you've been waiting for someone that just makes you go, okay, all right, hold on a second. If Rowena did it too, then let me find out, what is this all about? Let's jump on a call. Rowena, is that the best way then for people to get a hold of you personally, is theagentpowerhouse.com?
Theagentpowerhouse.com, yeah, there's a link on there. And there's a link to even text me on there. So, and it'll give you a little overview before we talk. That's the best way, theagentpowerhouse.com. I was trying to answer 3 of your questions that were in that question.
Cool. Well, that's and you're creating, I know, all kinds of systems. You're a systems queen, as you call yourself, and so you're creating all kinds of systems. Even just eXp Realty, just as a whole, is going to be blessed to have you, because you're creating ways to help agents get, just to understand step 1, 2, and 3 better, the onboarding process, to understand just really all of the different tools and how to make the most use out of them. And so Rowena is a perfect resource for you if you are looking at this model and want to have a conversation with someone confidentially that could just walk you through questions and just be really real with you.
Right.
Is that fair?
Absolutely. And I think, for me, I'm, as people have said before, I'm 98% hopeless and 2% genius. And my genius lies in being able to look at the big picture, where we're at with our team businesses, for example, and look at it at a very high level. And at the same time, be able to talk to somebody down on the ground that might be a transaction manager or a marketing person or an EA for a team, and help them from the ground up build the foundational systems that need to be in place and are often lacking, through project plans, and then looking at what their actual role is, and then helping their rainmaker and them get them in their joy zone, and then leverage out the other pieces of work. So looking at the very nitty gritty, right to going up, when a rainmaker said to me this morning, we need to completely reshape our team and look at the systems and look at the pieces that aren't going right. Well, we all know that's how to eat an elephant. The lady I was speaking to was a vegetarian, or a vegetarian that eats fish. So it's how do you eat a snow crab? There are lots of stages all the way along, and it's looking at those stages and how you break it all down, and taking that feeling of overwhelm and the hamster wheel that so often we feel that we were on in real estate. I started out that way, and yes, I was rookie of the year, but I hated real estate. I loathed it. I was in tears every third day. It was awful. And I'm not a crier. So it was just awful. And anything we can do to take that feeling away. And, you know, if the 70% of people that get out of real estate in the first year, let's remove a whole bunch of that overwhelm. And for the heavy hitters, let's look at where there are tweaks and different ways of doing things, where you can really get your business on fire and double and triple it in a year.
Good deal.
Love it.
Good deal. Closing words, Jay.
I just want to say that I'm proud to be in business with you, Rowena, and proud to be partners with you. So welcome aboard.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Just a little scared?
No, not at all. I love having a good systems person on my side at any time.
Very cool. And I just want to also celebrate the fact that you're a power woman in this industry, and all of the women around the country that are looking for a mentor, someone that's been there, done that, gone through a lot, and just made it happen. So happy to have you join us. I know Mary Maloney, who is very, you know, she's just an awesome, iconic agent out of San Diego, part of eXp Realty with us. She's thrilled to have you, and I know that she really, really is looking forward to seeing how the two of you together can help inspire more women, more agents, of course. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that passion point. She does, and she's thrilled to have you on board. And like Jay said, I'm excited for what the future has, and this is going to be a fun ride together. So
I believe in talent, honestly. So I don't believe in races. I think we're all part of the human race, and I mean that most sincerely. I actually started the African American real estate group because I think that's really cool, you know. So it's for me, it's about talent. It's about who stands up and shows up. Whether I was running a business when I was 20, I don't care if you're 18 or if you're 60. I don't want to hear all this BS about millennials. There's millennials in every. Oh, am I supposed to say BS? There's millennials in every.
Go ahead and just say bullshit if you want.
Okay, so we're surrounded by, you know, in every single generation, whatever age group you're in, whatever race you're in, whether you're brown, yellow, green, white, whatever you are, wherever you came from. I talk funny, you know, I'm fully American now, but I talk funny. Whoever you are, it's about the people that have work ethic and show up and want to build something bigger for themselves, their family, and their friends. And, you know, whether you're 19 or 64, and I don't want to hear all this nonsense about I don't know how to do technology because I'm too old, or you know. By the way, there's 20-year-olds who don't have a clue how to use social media. Friends. So it's about talent at the end of the day, and I'm all there for women. If women want to show up and have work ethic and talent, right on, sister.
Right on.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So make sure you connect with Rowena. Rowena, you have the controls, so you're the one that gets to have us out.
Oh my gosh, so I could just keep you on here all day, right?
Yep.
We can put the little tick on at the end. How about that? Aren't you proud of me? This isn't my first time using this technology. I've got to say, I'm kind of proud of myself. And we'll teach you how to do this, guys.
There's a learning curve for sure.
It's pretty awesome though, and it's actually quite straightforward. And agents, we will show you how to do this amongst many other delightful things.
Right on.
All right, my lovely gentlemen, I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome to me for joining this amazing group. I'm so thankful. Thank you.
Lots of love. Reach out to Rowena.
Yeah, give me a call. Talk to you all soon. Bye.
Bye.